Hello and welcome to a quick look. Me, GamerWolfSix, of another furry visual novel. This one is called, wait for the title, Remember the Flowers, which has a brief description of the game where you wake up in another world, maybe in the future I guess, with amnesia. Before we start, if you're interested in playing this game, you can get it for free on itch.io, but if you want to support the people that make this game and or get the newest version earlier, you can go to their Patreon, where it's $5 a month. Let's reset my face and start. Click. Oh, and if you want me to play this game, then comment about it and tell me, and I'll put it higher up on the list. Hey, he's losing a lot of blood. Are you sure it's a good idea to just leave him? Of course not, but we can't get back to the in-vehicle? While all those guards are around. But we can at least... It'll be fine. We'll just keep him covered. Hey, help me move those crates. I feel like I'm slipping in and out of consciousness. Where am I? Why can't I open my eyes? Hey, don't worry. You'll be okay. Who? Shh. Just rest. We'll be back soon. I can feel him lift my head and wrap something tight around it before placing something soft between me and the wall behind me. That'll have to do for first aid. Okay, let's move out. Right. Wait. Where are you going? Where? Oh, I'm in school. Something hits my forehead, causing me to jerk my head up. If my lectures are so boring, feel free to leave. I look at my desk. He threw a chalk stick at me. He has that pretty good aim, I guess. On the third row of the lecture hall, too. No, wait, we're on the third row. I don't know if I should be impressed or annoyed. Maybe I'm a little bit of both. Sorry, sir. I must have dozed off. I don't need you to tell me that. As a doctor, I'd hope not. I muttered to myself. Or, as a doctor, I'd hope not. What was that? Nothing. And with that, my professor scoffs and turns back towards the board, pulling a new stick of chalk from a box. What a geezer. Chapter 1. Freedom. Or furriedom. I pick up the bit he threw up at me. If I had some more confidence in my aim, I'd throw it right back at him. Hey, I know what you're thinking. I turned to my right, to Diana. You always seem to. It's not worth it. I know, but you can get back at him by improving yourself on the upcoming test. Gah, I forgot about that. The past few nights have been kind of a blur, on account of... were you practicing again? Maybe. Dana scoffs at that, to which I grimace. You know, you've already nailed your impression of my mom. Well, what do you expect? You stay up all night, every night. Who wouldn't be concerned about that? I know. She's right, as much as I don't want to admit it. Sorry, I'm still adjusting to the new program, and I'm trying to figure out how to weave in my own personal projects. Diana pauses before placing an arm on my shoulder. No, don't be sorry. I shouldn't be nagging you, at least not this much. I laugh. No, I kinda appreciate it. It shows you care. Well, I'm glad it's coming through. I've always been a bit worried about you. You and me both. At the very least, you seem to be absorbing a lot of the information being thrown at you. It's almost unfair how well you do on the exams with how little you study. It's all thanks to you. You've helped me a lot with figuring out my study habits. Clearly not enough. How much sleep did you get last night? Irrelevant. I'm sure. I try to yawn discreetly in my hand, but I guess it wasn't discreet enough as our professor whips around and zeroes in on us. I can feel Diana's arm tense up on my shoulder, as if we got caught doing something promiscuous. Something I should be aware of, you two? Well... Diana stands up. Oh, well, you see, he was just helping me understand the new material about the frontal cortex. I was having trouble wrapping my head around it. She's trying to play it off. Oh, is that so? Diana, I expect better from you. And to not associate with anyone who would drag you down. Wow, this professor's a dick. Are you going to do that thing where we go, can we go to the bathroom, and you go, I don't know, can you? I always hated that. I feel myself getting heated. Who the hell does this dick think he is? Would the fine gentleman like to stand up and share to it with the rest of the class? There are some whispers and murmurs across the room, all directed at us. I look in my peripheral. Diana has that, oh, I fucked up look on her face. Still. I stand up. With all due respect, sir, which isn't much. I am aware you're on tenure, but I don't think it's wise to force your job on your unemployed students. Or did you forget how much our tuition costs, along with giving a proper explanation of the frontal cortex? Gasps erupt from the rest of the class. I feel hot in my face, but I'm keeping cool. I can't say the same for the professor. I think he just snapped his new stick of chalk in two. I can see him squirm to find some kind of legal retort. Tenure or not, I'm pretty sure throwing shits at me is grounds for removal. Maybe not, but I'm not going to crack for the likes of him. I shift my hand to my hip. I'm waiting, Professor. Now he's the one looking red in the face, more so out of anger. I bet that's the most blood flow he's gotten in quite a while. He grumbles something insulting under his breath, before turning to angrily right with his now broken chalk. That's what I thought, asshole. I sit back down and take a deep breath. I'm not cut out for these kinds of performances. Neither is Diana. We look at each other, somewhat mortified, before bursting out in laughter. It's thankfully covered by the bell. I help Diana gather her notes. She has a real knack for organized chaos. I guess I've rubbed off on her as well. Ooh ooh. We make our way out of the lecture hall, still laughing. Glad to see you've been taking notes from Damien. Oh yeah? How so? Well, you were a pretty timid guy growing up. I remember having to beat up your bullies for you. To be fair, you were pretty good at Kung Fu. Damn right. She shows off with a standard kick. I have to admit, I wish I had her coronation. What's your point, though? Well, let's see. How long have you been dating Damien? Ooh ooh. I think our first anniversary is coming up. Oh, wait. Really? I need to plan something. Anyways. Wait, don't change the subject. Anyways, as I was saying, you were pretty quiet growing up. Sure, you kind of grew out of it a bit, but once you met him, you started getting, I don't know, more confident? What can I say? He's my better half. I give an exaggerated gay sigh, to which Damien snorts. Gay sigh? I don't know. Haha. Well, he certainly has left an impression on you. And he's rubbed off on you too, I bet. Anyways, I guess being around the star of the college basketball team will do that to you. Oh my god, stop. Someone's gonna hear you. Try to shush her, but she covers another laugh with her hand. Yes, you got some more confidence to build. Besides, weren't you on the gym baton together at the end of the last game? Jumbotron. I think I'm getting a phone call. Dana crosses her arms, and I struggle to pull my phone out. She has a knowing expression on her face. I slide my phone on and hold it to my face. Hello? Oh, hey, Mom. Yeah, no, school's going great. Yeah, yeah, no. I'm still adjusting, but it's going okay. And then my phone actually starts ringing and vibrating in my hand, ruining my attempt at fooling Diana. Who am I kidding? Who'd be fooled by that? I think your phone's ringing. Thank you for telling me. I'll be picking it up now. I give a slightly annoyed huff as I actually go to answer the phone call. It's from Damien, and my face immediately brightens. Hello? Hey, sorry to call, but about to head out for the afternoon run and didn't have time to text. Okay, so furs exist right now. I just wanted to know if we were still on for tomorrow night. No worries, and yeah, I'll make sure everything's ready. Also, he has one hell of a neck. You make sure to drink plenty of water, okay? Okay, you got it, dude. See you at the cafeteria for dinner? You know it. I love you. Stay safe, puppy. I love you too. The exaggerated smooch Damon makes is loud enough for Deanna to hear. I almost cringe, but eventually do the same thing for him. I can hear him giggle before hanging up. I sigh happily as I stuff my phone in my pocket before turning my attention towards Diana. What? You guys are so cute. She's holding her cheek, gushing over us as she usually does. Stop. It's true though. Young love. Diana giggles again, and with that, we continue our walk back to our dorms. So, what you got planned for tomorrow? It's a secret. Oh ho. Don't get any ideas. Oh, I would never. I roll my eyes at that, before getting my phone out to show something to her. It's Damien's dick. We're going to a show tomorrow. Ooh, exciting. Kinda surprised. I didn't know you were into that kind of scene. I'm really not, but Damien was excited that this band was coming to town. I couldn't say no. I pause. Also, I do want to get out of my comfort zone, even if it's just a little bit. I getcha. Do you guys need a DD? Wouldn't hurt. You sure you wouldn't mind? Not at all. I got off tomorrow. I'll text Damien to let him know. Thanks, Dana. I appreciate it. Of course. We chat about this and that for a while longer before coming to split between the dorms. They're not co-ed, so we don't actually live together. Oh, before I forget, do you want to visit the greenhouse this weekend? I don't know. I'll have to see how I'm feeling the next morning. You're not going to have a 2-day hangover. How about Sunday afternoon? 2-day hangovers. Kids, don't drink. I sigh through my nose. Can't get around it. I have been skipping out, helping Diana the past few weeks, while figuring out everything on this side of campus. I'm already hanging with Damien Friday night, and I do owe her one now. There's really no excuse. Yeah, sure. I'll see you Sunday. Want to meet up for lunch, then head over? It's a date. I'll see you then. Yeah, sounds good. We wave at each other as we walk down our respective paths home. As usual, I wave to the dorm mother. As usual, I skip the faulty elevator and take the stairs. As usual, I make my way to my dorm room. There's a dorm mother for the guys? Do they have that kind of thing? I think we had co-ed dorms in college, but I'm not sure if, like... I don't think the buildings were separated, but I'm not sure about the rooms. It was a college where there was, like, 3 to 4 guys for every girl. It was engineering college. We were desperate for girls, and that's around the time I found out I like dudes. It do be like that sometimes. Well, not at the beginning of college, but like part way through. Didn't do so much in college though, if you know what I mean. I'm a shy guy and stuff, and anxious. I've only been here for about a month, but at least I've got this routine down pat. Being in the master's program has its perks. Wait, you're in a master's program? Huh. I guess he's longer in college than I thought. I call it a dorm room, but it's almost like an apartment, complete with a kitchenette. I do miss my college dorm room, because... while I do like living with my parents because it has a whole bunch of perks, like not having to pay rent, I do miss college's, like, my living room, my bedroom, well, kind of for me it's kind of the same thing, but that room was bigger so I had more VR space. The kitchen was right next to it, so I don't know. But then, also I wouldn't have to walk across the house to go to the bathroom, which sucks. Because if you need to go pee, then you have to, like, put on clothes instead of just walk naked to the bathroom. Anyways, what's best is to have a place to myself. Well, mostly. Damon spends the night a lot too. Ooh. Just my bag on the couch before grabbing a glass of water, promptly chugging it. I'm not used to summer heat around here. As I strip off my overshirt, I look towards the bathroom. I kind of want to take a shower right now, but decide to do it at my usual time, right before bed. I sleep better that way. I say that, but I'm gearing up for my afternoon nap without any distractions. I plug in my phone, briefly lighting up the pic of Damien holding me up from behind as I flail in his grasp. I smile at it before flopping face first into my squishy pillow, not even bothering to pull over the blankets. I'm still a bit too hot for that. Also, this is a fucking nice looking apartment for a student, even if it is a master's. My lids start to get heavy, and I fall asleep for my afternoon nap. So am I human? I mean, I guess I am. There's a strange ring in my head. It's quiet, but just loud enough that I can't ignore it. I'm having trouble opening my eyes. How long was I out? It almost feels like a headache, but it's concentrated in only the back. Lifting my arm is a struggle too. Wait, am I sitting? A groan escapes my dry throat. How long have I been sitting like this? With all my might, I lift my hands up to my face and try to rub my eyes open with my palms. Wait, what is all this I'm feeling? I pull it, and it tugs at my scalp. It's my hair. I'm not lucid enough to panic quite yet. Or maybe I am, and it's just a weird dream. In any case, after some more rubbing, I managed to crack my eyes open. Right, completely forgot about the intro. I'm sitting in an alleyway I've never seen before. Even moving my eyes to look around is a struggle at first. I just woke up and I'm already feeling exhausted. I take a few breaths, which is somewhat alarming. I thought you couldn't breathe in dreams. Regardless, little by little, I start moving what I can. I can wiggle my toes and move my arms. I kinda need to move them, as my hair is getting in the way of my vision. I can hold my bangs down to nearly my sternum. Isn't sternum in your gut? Sternum. Breastbone. Boy, this guy has long hair. Or girl? Is this straight or gay? Not sure. Whatever. Could always be that thing like Komorebi where it's ambiguous. Set my face. The length isn't what most concerning, though. It's the fact that my hair is almost a natural shade of white. That aside, I try to feel around. I'm against the wall, and my next goal is to try and stand up. My joints pop like mad. Seriously, how long have I been sitting here like this? It should not be this hard to stand up, but my knees are trembling. Nearly hugging the wall with my side, I manage to stand up, a bit quite hunched over. Something slides off me. Before I can look down to see what it is, I start to stumble. I jerk a bit as a wave of disorientation washes over me. My vision blurs. I can see stars. I feel dizzy. And I can't keep my breathing steady. It doesn't hurt. Nothing does. Not even the sudden upchuck of stomach acid I expel onto the ground below me. I clutch my stomach as I fall to my knees, breathing erratic. It doesn't hurt. It doesn't hurt. But I feel like it should. I'm more confused than scared. I don't have enough time to process what little information I have as I throw up whatever was left in my stomach. It just smells like acid. And just like that, I'm back to sitting against the wall. I shut my eyes, but I can still see colors swirling around inside my eyelids. Without any strength, I just sit there and pant. The taste of stomach fluids still comes up from my throat, with each breath burning my mouth. I heave again, but nothing comes out this time. Nothing but a guttural belch. Okay. Calm down. I say to myself, barely recognizing my own voice. Not surprising, it feels like the only thing to wet my throat in decades was my own bile. I clutch my head to try and control the spinning I'm feeling. After several minutes of trying to breathe calmly, my vision starts to settle. I still feel disoriented, but I can at least make out what is in front of me now. Again, I look around, trying to get my bearings. As I noted earlier, I'm in some alleyway. I don't know where, though. Tilting my head up, I can see that it's night. The buildings around me seem to stretch taller than they should. I look further in front of me. There are boxes blocking the alley. They're stacked pretty high. I look down to the ground, and something catches my eye. Slowly, I bend over to reach it, not wanting to upset my stomach anymore, and grab what seems to be a jacket. It's pretty big. I can stretch it out far past something that fit me. I wonder who left this here. Were they trying to cover me? Another headache hits the back of my head, and I clutch the side of my face. It's starting to feel nauseous again. I rest my head against the wall, and immediately feel uncomfortable. It didn't hurt, but I could tell I shouldn't have done that. I reach for the back of my head. I feel bandages, a lot of them, along with what I can only assume is crusted up blood. How the hell did I end up like this? The last thing I remember was hanging with Diana and making plans with Damien. I try to recollect more, as much as I can. It's all scattered, like haze is blocking me from my own memories. Oh fuck. I exhale with a haggard breath. I'm still hoping this is just a weird dream, because I can't even remember my own name. Then I spend the next half hour alternating between doing breathing exercises and having an existential crisis. The more I think about myself, the more I realize I don't know who I am. I'm thinking clearly, but there's not much to think about. All I know is Diana and Damien are very close to me, and I wish they were here right now. I feel a sort of sadness at all the things I can't remember. All of my relationships and experiences just gone. One thing for sure, this is no dream. Maybe it's a nightmare? If it was, it'd be the most boring nightmare I've ever had. I say that, but I'm still fairly spooked. I move past the notion that I'm dreaming. However, the sensations I felt since waking up are far too real. Even so, periodically I pinch the skin of my forearm. I can definitely feel that I'm pinching the skin, but I don't feel any pain. It's basically numb. Same with the back of my head. That blow I must have taken did a number on me. It doesn't take a doctor to figure out that's probably why I can't remember anything. Speaking of doctors, I play the memory of myself and Diana laughing at our professor. It's the only entertainment I have. Well, kind of. As I think back to that earlier memory, I've come to accept the fact it was real. Despite the fact that my eyes were closed, it all feels so visceral to the point that I can say it happened. Someone mentioned my loss of blood, and someone else carved me up. Someone left me here, but who? All I have going on is this jacket they left behind for me. Or have to go on. It's simple enough, but I don't recognize the style. Not that I can talk about fashion. It's better than what I have on. I can't tell if I'm wearing hospital scrubs or a prison uniform. Wish I had at least some socks. The more I wake up, the more I realize how cold I am. I sigh. Eventually, I look toward the other side of the alleyway. I don't think I can move those boxes easily, if at all. But I should at least try to look for help. I'm starting to get annoyed with my body as I still struggle to do the simplest of tasks. I can hear my panting echo softly through the alley, along with something else. The sound of footsteps. I try to hold my breath. I think someone's on the other side of those boxes. Do I call out to him? Do I hide? Not that there's much room to hide. Whatever is out there starts pulling the boxes out one by one. I don't know what's in those boxes, but they don't look easily to throw around. They're just chucking them like it's nothing. I can feel my knees start to tremble. A chill runs down my spine, and my teeth start to chatter. Both my knees give, and I'm back on my ass against the wall. The fear is starting to get overwhelming, and my vision starts to blur again. There aren't many boxes left. Something starts to show between the cracks. A light. A flashlight. Before I know it, the ray of light is completely covering me. It's a task to lift my arms to block the beam, and even harder to keep them in the air. I was already struggling to move, without fearing for my life. I don't think I can take much more of this. I'm getting overstimulated. I feel like I'm shutting down. Just as I start to succumb to my panic, the light suddenly shifts. Slowly, I open my eyes, peeking through the cracks in my fingers. The person, no, the beastman holding the gun moves one step closer. Don't move, he says in a gruff, commanding voice. If I was cold before, I'm frozen now. I'm just sitting here, trying to follow his movements the best I can, with what little I can see. Oh, our arm looks all, I'm not sure if that's scars or if we're in cyberpunk now. Through the slits in my fingers, I can ascertain one thing. He's a wolf. A tall one at that. The wolf circles around me. I can see him clearly in my peripheral. He can see my face now, along with the terrified expression I'm wearing. Good or not, he could rip me to shreds with just those claws. Not that there's much to rip apart. Oh yeah, his legs are also like that. I don't stand a chance at running in my current condition. Hell, I can barely stand up. So I sit there, waiting to see what he's gonna do with me. He's a few feet away, gun pointing at me. Upon closer inspection, it looks to be the size of a pistol, but it doesn't look like any model I've ever seen. The wolf shifts his head, looking all over my body. My teeth start chattering again, reverberating through the alley. He walks up closer with intent. I shut my eyes. It's all I can do. This is the worst my breathing has been since I woke up. I can feel my empty stomach churn and my dehydrated eyes strain to tear up. The only thing that pulls me out of my panic attack is a feeling of something soft under my chin. He starts to slowly lift my head with his paw. His paw pads feel like warm leather under my chin. His breath is hot on my face. Now more than ever, I wish it was just a dream. The wolf squints his eyes and speaks to me. I can't make it out, as the ring in my ears is too loud. It's all I can muster. The wolf closes his eyes before pulling his hand away. He sits in front of me. We're eye level with each other. Okay? Huh? He pauses once more before repeating himself again. Are you okay? I don't respond. I'm not in the right state of mind to. He seems to pick up on this. Calm down. I'm not going to hurt you. The wolf places the gun he was holding on the ground and slides it to the other side of the alley. See? If I wanted to, I would have already. That's one gun gone, but what about the other on his back? His eyes veer to it, at which he notices. I'm not taking that one off. It would be too much work. He states matter-of-factly, before switching to a crisscross position. You're okay. You're okay. He looks me in the eyes again, before holding his paw apart in front of me. His paws apart. Breathe in. He pulls them closer, almost in a clapping motion. And breathe out. I'm slowly transitioning from panic to confusion, which I'd say is an upgrade. For some reason, the inflection in his voice sounds weird. He's speaking English undoubtedly, but something about it is off. I can't put my finger on it. Is it a dialect? Regardless, I do as he says, and start to match my breathing with his movements. We do this for a while, and slowly but surely, it seems to be working. With enough time and effort, and with the help of this wolf, I bring myself out of the self-induced panic attack. After one final breath, I manage to get back to just breathing through my nose. I'm still breathing faster than I'd like to, but it's a start. There. How are you feeling? He takes a deep breath as well. I guess that did take longer than it needed to. Tired. And dizzy. I finally drop my hands down for a moment, before moving to hold my head. It feels like I swapped a panic attack for a headache. I'm not surprised. Wolf gets close to me, to my head. Wow, I really don't like how close he's getting. You've lost a lot of blood. Gently, he holds my chin and shifts me to the right, revealing the back of my head. He leans closer and takes a few sniffs. I can feel his breath again, and I start to get apprehensive. I instinctively pull back. Gentle or not, this really isn't helping with my anxiety. You're still scared. Huh? He leans in again. I can feel the wetness of his nose on my forehead as he trails around my head, before sniffing around some more. Sorry. The wolf says bluntly before he pulls back. Habit of mine. Okay. What's your name? Yes, suddenly. I literally don't have an answer for him. I don't know. The wolf doesn't seem fazed by that. What do you know? I don't know. My emotions feel like a metronome, swapping between scared and confused at the drop of a dime. I'd like to believe he's right. If he wanted to hurt me, he would have already. Now that I think about it, I don't think he could hurt me either way, on the account of not feeling any pain. Well, that's not true. He could break my legs, and even if I couldn't feel it, I'd be at his mercy. That flash of imagery in my head makes me shudder. Wait here. Huh? His voice snaps me out of my imagination. He stands up, and then moves near the alley entrance. I cock my head as I try to see what he's doing. The wolf waves a paw over his right wrist. A small screen lights up in front of him. It seems to be coming from the bracelet he's wearing. I squint, trying to make heads or tails of it. Seriously, where the hell am I? We certainly didn't have this kind of tech back on Earth. Whatever he's doing, he's tapping fiercely away on it with his fingers. For a moment, he places his free paw over his chin. He looks deep in thought. All of a sudden, he turns his attention back to me, looking me over once more before typing away again. He waits. Then I hear something. A notification? Then he starts tapping again for about a minute before sliding the screen away. Okay, can you stand? I'm gonna take you home now. Here. The wolf walks up to me before starting to get me on my feet. He carefully gets under my armpits and lifts me up slowly, trying to keep me stable. How's that? Oh, wait a minute. I stumble nearly to my knees, and he catches me. It's okay. I can carry if you want. I said wait! I raise my voice, and the wolf's eyes widen a bit. I push him away, choosing to slump against the wall again. At least I'm still standing, even if barely. Who the hell are you? Where the hell am I? Do you know where I live? Even though my adrenaline from earlier has worn off, I'm starting to get hit with a rising paranoia. I barely even know where I live. You can't seriously expect someone with a head injury to just go off with somebody they don't even know, do you? Quite feisty for someone with a head injury. The wolf sighs before walking over, then sits down in front of me again, so I'm looking down at him. I'm kind of glad he did. My knees feel like they're about to give out, and I sit back down on the ground. I don't know how to explain this without alarming you, but you're going through a fairly common experience around here. He then taps the side of his head. Barring the head injury. What do you mean? The wolf scratches the back of his head. It's best that you know as little as possible, unless absolutely necessary. That's a horrible way to build trust. I didn't mean to say that out loud, but I did mean it. I don't need your trust. I could take you by force if you really want me to. The fur on his neck bristles, and my fear spikes again. He flattens back down before rubbing the back of his neck. Relax, it won't come to that if you just cooperate. I'll say this. I've done this before, many times. Done what? Taken humans home. Amnesiac? Amnes... Amnesiac or not. Sorry, I don't usually read that word. How do you know where I live? The wolf pauses. Do you know where Resume is? No. Should I? The wolf exhales, almost in relief. Whether or not you do doesn't matter to me. Resume is one of the few cities that's mainly just humans around here. Okay, so where's around here? The wolf shakes his head. We can talk about that later. Honestly, we've dallied it long enough. Just know that I have contacts here. He lifts his paw, pointing at the weird bracelet. I've confirmed a meeting point to get you home safely. Out of my mouth, to which he interrupts. And before you ask any more questions, I gave a description of your appearance, and they matched up with someone who's missing. I close my mouth. I guess you have done this before. I'm kind of surprised myself. I'm taking all of this way too quickly, aren't I? I guess when your head is nearly empty, something new becomes acceptable. Regardless, I'm going to at least try to remain skeptical. How do I know you're just not setting me up? Wolf smirks at that. You don't. What you would be able to do in your current situation, if I was though, what would you be able to do? Here's a point. Don't know where or who I am. I wouldn't be able to make it far. I sigh. I can't tell if my ears are still ringing, or if there are alarm bells going off in my head. I resign myself. I don't really have a choice. Okay, fine. It's not like I trust you, though. That's wise. I won't do anything to hurt you. You can count on that. We'll see, I guess. With that out of the way, the exhaustion is starting to catch up, and I shoot back to my familiar spot against the wall. I can barely stand up, let alone walk. Not to already impose, but you wouldn't happen to have any food or water, would you? Wolf thinks it over, before turning towards the alley, listening. Yeah. We could probably have a quick bite to eat. Let me just... He walks over to the pile of crates and starts stacking them, again providing some decent coverage. There, that should be fine. I doubt anyone will go through the trouble to get through that. Besides you? Fair enough. Actually, that does make me curious. Before the wolf sits down, he pulls a bag he had slung on his shoulder on the ground. Looks a bit weird, almost like a violin case, with its angles straightened out. Like an awkward trapezoid. Trapezoid. Wait, I'm getting distracted. So, how did you know I was here? Oh. The wolf taps his snout with a couple of fingers. It was faint, but it could smell you a couple of blocks away. He pauses. Oh, you're blood anyways. I see. Well, why did you go through the trouble of finding me? Wolf takes out what seems like a canteen and places it in front of me, along with some kind of package wrapped in what feels like plastic. Afterwards, he moves to sit next to me against the wall. Oh, I take a lot of odd jobs. I wasn't looking for you per se. I was just in the area when I caught your scent. He takes his own package, ripping it open. Some kind of food? You should consider yourself lucky. By the looks of it, you wouldn't have lasted another day or two. I look over myself. I'd say he's right. I'm skin and bones, with an empty stomach and a concussion. Now that I think about it, I'm kind of surprised I've made it this long. Slowly, I lean forward to pick up the canteen thing. I can feel the liquid inside, but I don't see a way to use it. It's rectangular shape with no discernible opening. Wolf. He looks up from whatever he's eaten. There's water in here, right? How do I open it? He swallows. Ooh. Oh. He leans over and slides his finger across the top. A small opening appears. There. It's got some nutrients in it that should help. Just drink it slow. I do as I'm told. Maybe it's because I'm so dehydrated, but this water does taste pretty rich. It's almost heavy. I choke on it for a moment, but swallow it down soon, not wanting to waste any of it. I smack my lips a bit, as if it's alcohol. You okay? Yeah. Just a bit strong. Just drink it slowly. I nod, a tad embarrassed at my lack of coordination. Regardless, I'm thankful for the drink. My throat even starts to feel better in just a few minutes. Not wanting to drink it all myself, I mimic what he did earlier to close the canteen. You know, on second thought, the wolf reaches over and takes the package he gave me. I'm just gonna take a guess that, judging by how you reacted to that water, you could use something a bit lighter to eat. He rummages once again in his bag, before handing me a small parcel. It should be a bit lighter. It doesn't really taste like much, but it's got some protein. Oh, I wonder if this is one of those, like, starvation kind of things. Like, I remember this, one interesting story, or scenario, about people who survived, the Holocaust, who, basically, they were given, food by soldiers, but that ended up killing them because, something about, like, if you don't eat for a while, your body kind of goes into one sort of cycle, and then if you, like, eat a whole bunch, then it kind of overwhelms it or something. I'm not sure. I should probably actually look that up. It was like that and, like, other sorts of things. There's probably tons of scenarios like that. Biology. It's weird. Curious, I reach over and pick it up. It feels like it's wrapped in paper, though. There's no labels. Even with what little strength I have, I open it fairly easily. What's inside kind of looks like saltine crackers, but brown instead of manila. I lift one up and smell it. It's like beef jerky, only faintly. Actually, let me just look up the word for that. Refeeding syndrome? Yeah, something about that. Where it's like, hey, there's lots of symptoms, including death. You wouldn't hope that, eating food would kill you. Eating perfectly fine food would kill you, but yeah. I lift one up and smell it. It's like beef jerky, but only faintly. If I'm being honest, they don't look very appetizing. Beggars can't be choosers, though. I take one of the cracker things and bite into it. Thankfully, he's right. It doesn't taste like much. A little salty and a bit sweet, but not much else. Definitely the texture of a cracker. I'm just glad I got something to drink. After a few minutes of eating, I look over to the wolf. He's enjoying his meal. At least I think he is. Man, how did I end up here? Now that I have time to think, I realize something. I don't recognize his voice from the ones I heard before. I decided to speak up about this. Oh, right. I think there are people who left me here, but I can't really remember. The wolf looks over to me with a serious look. Serious or curious? Curious. Do you remember anything about them? No. Not really. Just a little bit of conversation. Probably right after I got this dent in my head. I pat the crumbs off my shirt and hold the jacket I woke up with. I have this, but that's it. The wolf looks it over before he grabs it from my hands and smells it. He then scrunches his nose. I guess he didn't like how it smelled, because he balls it up and tosses it to the side. I think it would be best to leave it here. Take my word. Oh, okay. I started thinking to myself, whoever left that for me, I think they had my best interests in mind. The voice seemed reassuring, at least. Although, to be fair, they did leave me here like this. I should be more careful. A voice is enough to judge a character. Oh, wait. What's your name? We had a shaky start that I completely forgot to ask. My name? He pauses and then sighs. Cooper. Just don't tell anyone. Why? You ask a lot of questions. You know that? To be fair, you're making it hard not to. Also, we have amnesia. Just eat your food. Okay. Once again, I do as I'm told, sitting in a strange alley with this strange beastman, eating the strange food. I wonder how Damien would react to the situation if he were here with me. Man, he tried to carry me so we could get as far from this place as possible. A little fragment flashed through my mind of Damien giving me a piggyback ride. I think he convinced me to play basketball with him, and he whipped my butt. I remember being tired, just not as much as I am now. I sigh. I really miss his piggyback rides. I don't think this resumed place is my home. It's not much, but I have some memories of where I lived. Sorry, I'm scratching my eye. Oh? I just don't know how to make sense of all this. I'm not surprised. I just know one thing. I really want to go home. Well, as far as I'm aware, Resume is your home. Pauses. Even if it's not, Resume is known for getting people back to where they belong. What do you mean? Well, Resume is a hotspot for humans. Almost a sanctuary. I'm sure they could get you back to wherever you came from. I hope so. Cooper flicks his ear at that. I guess he can sense my dejection, though I'm not really hiding it. Where do you come from? Nowhere worth mentioning. He judges my question and stands up, listening intently. I think it's time we head out. How are you doing? Well, better. But I don't think I'm in any condition to move around too much. Can you walk? I grunt as I try to stand up. It wasn't much, but the combination of water and protein crackers is at least giving me enough strength to stand and walk a bit. Kind of, but I don't think for very long. Wait. I don't think very far along. We'll take breaks, and if it comes to it, I'll carry you. Okay. I stretch, popping my joints again, but this time it feels really good. I'm glad to be off my butt for a bit. I should mention it, when we're out of the alley, it'd be best to keep talking to a minimum. Why? Cooper's stance shifts, looking towards the opening of the alley, then back to me. There are people trying to find you, as we speak. And that's bad? Very. I can't disclose much, but I'll say this. Your life will be a living hell if they find you. Maybe it's just because I'm getting more lucid, but I'm not really fazed by that. That kind of worries me. So wait, are you under contract? In a sense. As I've said, I've done a lot of escort missions. It tends to be easier the less people know. It doesn't sound very skeevy or anything. That doesn't sound skeevy or anything. Cooper looks out of the alley, then back to me. Look, there's a lot out there, and with your current mental state, I don't think it'd be a good idea to overwhelm you. Maybe. I don't know. I close my eyes for a moment and take a deep breath. Being left in the dark ain't much better. You'll be fine. I'm sure you've been through worse. I wouldn't know. Cooper actually chuckles at that, before he returns his gaze to the alleyway opening. Gotta do this in a way that's not suspicious. I think I'll leave that to you. Didn't really offer. Fair enough. After about 5 minutes, he manages to remove most of the boxes fairly quietly. We're free to leave the alley. I'm both nervous and excited. You said we shouldn't talk, right? Only if it's absolutely necessary. Whisper if you need to. I'll probably hear it. Why? Can we write? Do you have an axiom? A what? I'll take that as a no. He points to his bracelet. It can communicate through this, via text, but that's it. How about a pen or paper? And paper? He looks at me as if I said something truly bizarre. I don't know how to write like that. Wait, what? I didn't use them much outside of class, but at least I know how. Okay. You do? Weird. What the? Like, you're one to talk. I think to myself, grumbling. Oh, right. Looks over at me again. I'm slowly getting used to that. What should I call you? Huh? Oh, I'm not sure. I thought it hadn't crossed my mind. What do I call myself? Coop pauses again, thinking. Well, until you come up with something, I'll just call you human. Okay. Before we officially venture out, we do a bit of cleaning in the alley. Cooper tells me to try and avoid leaving anything behind, sends the jacket he tossed. Thankfully, there's not much, just the wrappings of our food, and... Oh, I forgot Cooper's other gun. It definitely lead to trouble if we left something like that lying around. As I try to pick it up, I think to myself, is it a good idea to touch something like this? Hey Cooper, you left your gun over here. Is it okay for me to pick it up? Oh, good call. Yeah, safety is on. Just try not to slide anything on it. Slide anything? On a gun? Okay. I know my motor skills are a bit rusty, but I should be able to pick up a gun without firing it, right? I gulp. I'm hovering my hand over it, inches away, before a yellow arm invades my vision. Relax, you're not gonna set it off. Wolf casually picks up the gun and even twirls it. See? If you say so. Here. Cooper then carefully takes my arm and plants the pistol in my hand. It's cool to the touch and smooth. It almost feels like a smartphone screen. My grip is firm on it, and I don't want to drop it. Still, I do turn it around slowly, getting a decent look at it. It looks cool. It's not what I would normally picture a gun to look like, though. It's sleek and pretty light. However, it's still a gun. I don't trust myself with it. It's, neat. Here, take it back. Cooper takes it and holsters it back on his hip. I guess giving you a self-defense weapon is out of the question. Would that be necessary? In your position, yes. Why does whoever they are want me so bad? Classified. Figures. You ready to head out? As ready as I'll ever be. Takes out his bracelet, or axiom, and starts to tap away at it. Now that I'm close, I can kind of make out what he's doing. The screen is pretty clear, even while being somewhat translucent. I can't make out a lot, though. It looks blurry, almost as if censored. Can you read that? I can. You can't. He swipes away the screen. No offense, but I'm not going to register you in it. Okay. Whatever that means. We're going to head to the nearby plaza. It's late, but there should be a shop open. For what? I figured you could use a change of clothes. He grimaces. Glad I just got paid. You don't have to do anything. I'll manage. It's nice of you, human, but it's more out of necessity. Your current getup would be suspicious to just about anyone. I look down at what I'm wearing. He has a point, although I'm not sure what kind of fashion they have here. If I could choose, probably something with sleeves. The scars along my arms and legs are kind of off-putting, especially to me. Do you have any suggestions? Yeah. I'm not the person to ask about clothes. We'll figure it out when we get there. Okay. We both look over the alley, making sure it's empty enough. Alright, let's start moving. Tug on my sleeve or something if you need anything. And remember, keep quiet. Okay. With that, we make our way out of the alley. And I think with that, we're going to call it. Mysterious future or other world or something like that. It is kind of funny how many of these things kind of do stuff like that. So, I don't know, you could maybe say future, I don't know. How do you build a building like that one where it's all twirly with the floors? But, yeah. Menu. That's going... Oh, I guess that's the guy. He looks a bit more burly here than... Because, you know, wolf, scar over the eye and the nose. And we're gonna be train hopping or something? Do like this music, though. Anyways, end of this quick look. If you want me to play this game, then tell me in the comments. I mean, I put, like, the way I'm trying to do it, it's unofficial. I kind of put them in order of which one I would want to play first. And then if people say, play this, then I put a little number on it. And then, yeah, after I, figure this stuff out, I'm going to... The ones with the most numbers get bumped higher up on the list. So it's, heavily weighted with my preferential choice, but if people like the certain game, then I put that... Then, that increases what's being put higher on the list. I still have to, figure it out, because when I'm looking at this thing, it's usually the one I do first is to put it lower on the list, I've noticed, and the ones I do later, I put higher on the list. No, wait, then which one's that one? Oh, wait, that's a different one. I don't know. I'll have to think about it. Anyways, until next time. Is there anything else? Oh yeah, if you want to play this game, free on itch.io, but if you want to support people that make this game, Patreon, $5 a month. Spay and neuter your animals, comment, all that stuff, and until next time, let's say, quick look. Me, GamerWolfSix, of some other game. Suggest ones if you want me to look into those. Thanks, see ya.